Hi, welcome to Ocean Yumi channel. And now I put up a few new videos. I don't know, it seems like I might have to take them down again, really. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. So basically, as you can see by the title, I'm gonna talk about the tease video. Man, when I sat and I watched that video, the little short cut though their clips, a lot of stuff stood out to me. The abuses Nature Boy would endure on Malia and the so-called chieftesses, very prominent. Lot of the members when they spoke out, when they hi Christine, when they tried to escape and they said yes, like you are free to go and so and so and so. It's a load of BS. It's a load of BS. They said that Janae had coercion into doing what she did. From what I saw, okay, and I'm not the most rational person sometimes on certain stuff, but I do kind of certain pick up, observe, whatever, certain stuff. There's a few things I was brought up, and it's just a shame I can't put it up on the clips and that because, like, YouTube's funny and stuff. Anyways, from what I gathered from how the T cut it up, well, clipped up the videos and stuff because she clipped up the interview that she had with Janae. And it made perfect sense, in fact, because at first I wasn't sure. Because, when you're not in the background, being all the way in the UK, it's a bit harder to tap into certain places and be around certain places, then they ban you and all sorts of crazy. So like you have to go through all that stuff, being the Janae blocked me, so it blocked me from her page and stuff like that. So I'm not able to tap into certain stuff where she is concerned. But the way in which she explained certain stuff, little parts that I saw, and the videos, he was a whole violent person. He had a violent minded person, psychopath. I don't know. I mean, they call it narcissism. No, I think it's a bit more beyond that, personally. Psychopath comes to mind more because he was so severe with how he dealt with the women more than the men. He also tried to come over as an alpha, which was very apparent. Now, being that how I've looked over the down low men, because he got me to go and research that, and when I did look into it, and most down low men, well, they had to assert the masculinity. Hi, Maria. What they tend to do, they tend to beat up on women and tend to be a certain way, and there was a lot of indications there for those who followed him from the early parts with Pocahontas, Yaya, Ignoksu. I think I've heard that name so many times. I don't even know who she. I've heard how she passed and everything. And it's like he totally Nature Boy blacks out on drinking. He blacks out. He thought he was above the law. He thought he was the ruler of all things. She returning is another question. She returned many times, 3, 4 times. I'm not sure. Right? Because I did used to know this. Because mind you, bear in mind, she has her faults too. Yes, she does. But we all have our flaws and everything. She has her faults on a lot of stuff. Now she's carrying. I hope she changes her path very deeply before she makes certain turns and certain things what she does. She also talks about being linked to deities and stuff like that. And with that come great responsibility, thoughtful, mindfulness, mindful of communities. But sorry, I've gone on a whole journey rant somewhere else. But anyways, let's go back to what I'm saying now. This coercion, from when the interview was done, remember, everybody was saying the coercion word. Okay. For what I watched, in fact, the T didn't even say nothing. No, I think she said a couple things to her. She didn't say, no, yeah, you should go. And she named what happened to her. She named what happened to her as well, because I feel that they thought that the lovemaking was the R word. It was forceful. He even said it many times himself. If she fights, then I like it more. Yeah, he said it. Came out of his own mouth. He more or less written his destiny anyway, because he knew where. Because I feel he thought where he knew where he was going. Some of the members, though they didn't. They was on stuff. They was on a lot of stuff. There was taking drugs or drinking, whatever else in the background. They thought that if they didn't do certain stuff, they would fit into the group. I.e., Sheba spoke about hitting Malia or doing something to Malia. That stirred me a little bit. I sat there yesterday, literally, the emotions. Because when you're listening to the whole thing, even though it was cut up in parts, literally, when it's cut in parts, you're just like, damn. I mean, even though I've watched many lives, how he said to Malia, you are, the dog. You're a female dog, basically. You're a female dog. And he kind of pimped them out, and which most people already knew already. But she kind of really, I feel Janae kind of did needed to be told exactly what was what, because she was in my. She bought them shoes. She sold her car, which is that normal for cults. That happens. That's normal. They give up their whole life. The three Manson daughters, women, whatever, fearless free, whatever. I don't know whatever else to call them. They are very evil. And mind you, when you are in competition, well, I don't know. I've never been in competition with other women. Me, I just leave the man and just leave him right where he there. I have no time. And this is where young women gets it totally wrong. Totally. You're in competition with a woman, a girl, for a man's affection, would do anything for him. Anything. The worst thing is when you would do anything for that man who you feel is the earth, the wind, the whatever. Mind you, this man is not immortal. Highlander man, he's not immortal. He's not immortal at all. He called himself many names, Tahuti, this one, that one. Titles sometimes means nothing. It all depends on how you live. That reflects the title. He tried to pass it off as an eco-friendly village. Many of them bringing their money from however they brought their money, given to this man, giving. This man gave them nothing in return. Now, if ever you guys, I think I did post it up on my community wall. When you sit down and you listen to it, okay? For those, even the newbies, you need to listen to it. When you listen to that thing, I told you yesterday, I sat down and after I listened to the whole thing, because I have this thing, I get distracted really easily. It all depends on what it is. And I ended up sitting there. I sat there I listened to Kite, how Kite described how Malia, he said to Malia to lie down. So no, was it kneel down or something like that. So she does it. And he goes, no, flatten your body to the ground, he said. She does it. And he ends up kicking her I think he kicks her in her stomach. Kite said, after that, I don't know. I can handle that. It seemed like, I think that stirred Kite to leave. Many of them have seen a lot of stuff. They're all for the ones who still carry on the message, all mixed up. They feel that this message is something to carry, but it'll be at their peril, because he is what he is. He is not Nature Boy. No, he's not. He's not a Nature Boy. He's got nothing to do with nature. None at all. Very evil, well, I mean, people throw narcissistic around. I'm using this right here, right now, because I think I've kind of met ones like him, and I've always said this. I never got in too deep with them, thank goodness, because for a man to do that, to be on those levels and to control so many people at that level, that they was prepared to do anything. Even Aaron, I think Aaron was, what's he called it, Ace? Trying to remember the names. True, his name was, whatever. Even he started questioning and saying, "What the hell?" Like, because whatever was the whatever was the objective, he got lost as soon as they hit Lanta. He started wearing nails. He started doing more and more and more and more and more. They was thinking, what? Like, girls hitting each other. Right? He was giving the order, hit her in her face. One of them says, "Oh, that felt so good." I said, "Damn." Now, the cult that came to mind, I was sitting there, literally, okay, as I was sitting there. Now, Jim Jones. Now, everybody remembers famous Jim Jones, right? From Guyana. You know, the one who unalived how many people because he was scared that they would come down and whatever else. Anyway, when they started describing certain stuff, and because don't forget, Pisces has spoken too. Pisces has spoken, says little bits too. Jim Jones was a gay man as well, but he hid it because on the outside, he was doing whatever, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of things going on. This is what Nature Boy was also. Nature Boy, the Nature Boy was that too, all rolled into one. Now, he didn't get to a point where they unalived each other, but he could have gotten to a point where he unalived each other, where they unalived or done something. Mind you, couple members. I know I'm going all over the place. I know, okay, I'm going all over the place. I'm not mad. I'm just maybe I'm channeling. I don't even know. Whatever else, whatever you call it. You know what I mean? They thought they was there on a mission for whatever they thought it was. They got there. He took women from the men and all sorts of stuff. Oh, in fact, I forgot the key one. I forgot the key one that really licked my ass bad. I tell you. Zoka. See Zoka. Zoka's a whole broken girl. She's broken inside. She's broken. And I don't know why she keeps running back. I don't know. I'm not even going to even fudder what's going on in her head right now. I don't know. But I know she's going to go down with that ship. I can see her going down with that ship. Zoka, she was in the closet or somewhere. Mind you, this man has done the R word to many of them. Many of them. Okay? Many. When you violate somebody so young, that girl is very young, very young, very, very, very young. She was violated while pregnant. She also took matters into her hands with a baby that's in her stomach. Her yolk was in her stomach. Let's call it that, yeah? The yolk, the baby, because it goes through phases of birth. In childbirth, your birth, right, it goes through all sorts from the fetus, then it forms into a child, then it goes through certain stuff. Okay, so she was doing what she had to do because, I'm not even saying she had to do because I'm not even for that. Okay, so let's get that straight on that one. The child was moving. Can't remember how old Sheba said now, and she went somewhere. I don't know where it was, in Mexico, wherever. She got rid of the child. She got rid of the child. That's why Sola was sitting there so upset, because the child was moving. It was moving, and she made, even though we on the outside was saying, oh, they do rituals and stuff. She took the life of the baby, the AB. I don't even know how I can say it on blinking YouTube. So many things you can't say on YouTube nowadays. It's so ridiculous. I'll tell you, this little girl, because she is a little girl. She is a little girl. She's probably in the early 20, well, not even 20 yet. I don't even think, I can't remember the age right now. Well, whoever knows, please put in the chat and I'll highlight it, because I can't, I have so much things on my brain, I'll tell you. Anyways, the day yesterday when I heard all that, if you sit through that, wild speculation, no, love, it ain't no wild speculation. It ain't no wild speculation. Go and watch. If you watch and listen to what they say, every single damn word they say. I think we on the outside, yes, we sort of assumed or whatever. I know a lot of people assume because it's natural. It's natural. We do it. It's a natural thing. We assume stuff. I do it all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I'm judge and jury sometimes of certain stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but let me tell you, when I can't remember which one it was who said it. When she said that she went and she did what she did, because it's for Nature Boy. Nature Boy ruined a whole tribe, a whole set of people. I don't know how many of them was down there with him. I mean, quite a lot of people passed through carbonation, melanation, whatever else it was called. A lot of people, but these ones here, when certain things is said, you have to pay attention to what's being said. And sometimes I don't like to write notes. No, I don't like to write notes. I like to just try and remember certain stuff because it's good. But yeah, that young girl lady, do you know why she's gone off her head? She loved the baby she was carrying in her. She was carrying that womb they said it was a girl. They said it was a girl. It's called hearsay. Zoka didn't say that. So it's wild. It could be speculate. Okay, all right. Maybe on that I agree with you on that part. But there was a lot of assumptions. Right, I don't know whether we all. I mean, there was a lot of assumptions. Because people said to her, he said to her, tell them what happened to the baby. She was in broken tears. She was crying. And he says that, and she stopped crying. I remember that yesterday. She stopped crying and there was hold and when I can't remember which part of the T video, I can't remember, but they actually explained what happened, what. Because remember, only the people in the inside can tell you what happened in the inside. We on the outside can only speculate and watch and come to conclusions. Because there was a whole heap of stuff that was going on, a whole heap. And I don't make out like I was I think I followed them later. I think I followed them. I can't remember the part where I follow them. When I saw, I think after she had the baby, Velvet had the baby, that's when I started watching. Now, it's just so, it was honestly, now, when I'm watching, sorry, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying before we got to all the speculation and all this. Now, if you sit through that video, as small as it is, well, what thing is 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, I don't even know. I think I lost count to the hours. The hours went. When you sit through the video on my grandmother, I had to come out. I had to go for a walk. I literally had to go for a walk, go to shop, do something with myself, because some of the things that was said, I felt it. I felt that. I felt it. I felt it. And I'm a typical West Indian woman. When I hear certain things, I start talking to myself and ranting and oh my god, I can't. Yes, I'm a typical West Indian woman. I'm like that. You know what I mean? I'm like that. Like, you know, I come from. My grandmother was the same. So I started ranting. I said, "Oh my goodness, let me come out of this house. Let me walk." Because every time I listen to something pertaining to them, unless it's very light or something, I don't feel the vibe from the screen. But yesterday, oh my goodness! Now, if anybody have seen the tea thing, you know, because remember, like the tree of them or four is trying to say that she coerced Janae. And she didn't. She actually didn't. Well, she didn't. From the little bit I see, to me, I feel the T should have left the interview up anyway. She left the whole thing up. Left T, you should have left it up. You know why? So that everybody can make their own opinions on it. Form their own opinions on it. Whether we like the girl, dislike the girl, whatever. It's neither here nor there. Now the clips, what you did. Now there was so many few things. I was like, damn. I kept saying, damn. Every time one of the members said something, I said, damn. I couldn't sit through all Nature Boy's rants, mind you, because he's a demon by himself. He's a real demon by himself. Anyway, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just gonna make my point. He's a demon by himself. He ran them people. Niza went off she head. Niza went crazy. What's the next one? That other girl went crazy, seemed like, and turned on her mother. Somebody else who was listening to him and some other person turned on their mother, because there's a lot of metricides that goes on now. Okay. And Zoka's one, I think that's the one that everybody wanted answers to. They wanted the answers. Now, let me see what you said. She said the cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. And I believe, unless there is evidence otherwise, imagine what Zoka said is true. And people accuse her of unaliving it. No wonder she's messing. Well, I don't know. Well, we wasn't there. Once again, we wasn't there. People assume shit. That's normal. That's humans' rights. That's humanity. That's how people are. That's how they assume themselves. And you know, we all do it. It's normal. It's not even a matter of saying, oh, well, the people are wrong, because some of the things what the commentators were saying was actually right, because some people did say a lot of things. We knew Malia was going through hell. Velvet definitely was going through hell, even though she will probably, you know, she herself was turned into what she is now because she wanted what she wanted. The fight was explained why they fought on that beach as well. Hold on, let me see what Christine said. Yes, he hid behind a fake masculinity. Yes, he did. He did, big time. And speculation, yes, Joe. Yes, Joe. You can please carry on typing. I love hearing. I like. Let me hear the opinions because the fight on the beach. Now, if anybody remembered watching the fight on the beach, that was just disgusting. That was just messed up. That was just messed up. I don't know. I'm a mother of 4 young ladies. I think, yeah, 4 young boy. I'm forgetting 4 young ladies. They're kind of in their kind of age catchment. Some of them, except for Aya. So I'm thinking to myself now, I could not father as a mother, really, watching my daughter fight on the beach with another girl like that, near that, looked like almost could have drowned the girl, right? Even that was explained a little. That was explained why that happened, because there was a lot of competition going on amongst the women. Malia did actually say she didn't want to fight her. She really didn't want to fight her. She didn't. She didn't. But he used it. He used it as content. He used it as content. He used it as content. He was one of the worst things on 2 Feet, honestly. He put all of his traumas into the whole group of them people. Now, to me, I don't know whether Aaron and Sheba has passed the worst or whatever. I don't know. Because people will tell you whatever you want to hear at this point. You know what I mean? They will say, oh, yeah, I'm not part of this, but they'll be part of it. So I don't know. But anyway, then people are as messed up as they accuse Carbonation of being, if they are so quick to believe the worst. People will believe the worst because they watched them from how long ago? How long? They thought what they thought was a good thing. If right at first they would have left them, I suppose they would have not bothered. Probably would not have. It would have been another eco village situation. That's what I feel. When they saw certain things, I feel that's when they started talking out. They started saying certain stuff. And to be honest, it was at his own detriment, because he wield a power, or he's a very charismatic person, which is normal for a cult leader anyway. So this happens in all cults. So anyone's who was following, like the one with what's the one who turned into a mummy, a golden mummy, I forgot her name. Even when they're following people, anyone who's following a cult anyway, right, and they put certain stuff on this, in front of your face on a live or whatever, you will assume it. It's natural. You would see the worst, because cults are known for doing the worst stuff, the most disgusting things. They will look pretty and shiny on the outside. On the inside, there's a whole heap. Pardon me. There's a whole heap of craziness going on. A whole heap of shit going on. I agree about the fight on the beach, because we saw it. Yes, and oh yeah. Malia didn't want to fight. Malia did not want to fight. She didn't want to fight her. She didn't want to fight. Even when you see her on the balcony. You know why I believe it? Because there was a scene on the balcony. I remember putting it up on the balcony where Malia one time, and he was getting ready to get Janae and Efaru on her. And she started breaking down crying, because I believe she didn't want to replay what happened on the beach. I think it must have all came flooding back to her, really. And even that situation on the beach, please go to the tea and watch the last video, because there's the malicious whatever blah blah going on. So there's I'm telling you, man, when you watch that, just make sure you go, when you finish watching it, go take a walk straight after. Take a walk, do anything. Don't sit in your yard, don't shout at your children, just go outside, take a walk, because it just boils your blood when you hear the situations. There's a lot of sexual things going on behind the scenes with the men and the women. Mind you, he was a escort anyway, and he's been with men and women, so it shouldn't really be surprising on that level, I will say. But on the screen, he did always try to make out he was a masculine thug like gangster, whatever, blah blah, typical, you know, the stereotype, you know. So I was just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I think there was another part. I know I'm missing parts out. Okay, excuse me, my atmosphere sometimes goes somewhere else. Sometimes I don't always, you know. This is why I like videos, you know, because sometimes it's proof. Like when I'm talking, I don't want to just talk out my ass, you know. I don't want to talk out my, you know. I just want to talk straightforward. She, well, there's so many she's. Aya and Ra was actually prostituted. Source Puppy. Well, one of them was given to Source Puppy, and I think that was brought up there on the video too. There's so many elements to it. I'm just like, at this moment, I'm just getting it all out of my system right now, right? I'm purging myself, okay? So it's just so crazy. I mean, Janae is really, if Janae after this do not change, I don't know what is what, because when you give yourself, like, the title thing comes up, the title thing, when you call yourself a goddess, an empress, or whatever, even though people say that to you, but she always talk about that she bought them the clothes and stuff like that. I mean, she hasn't spoken about them recently. I think she's changed it now, but even when the T was streaming what she was streaming or whatever, Janae was there on the chat. And I do believe that she needs to, like I said, she does actually need to just, you know, go off working herself, right? And do what she's got to do. Because at one point, even when I'm ready to take a break, I don't have to tell YouTube, okay, I'm taking a break, right? You would know, okay, she's gone off for a bit, she'll probably come back, whatever. Like, it just happens like that. But she just needs to, I don't know, because she said a lot of stuff. She wanted to be the queen and stuff like that. And the pageant was bought a lot. In two cases, the women bought it up, and I think, though she didn't bring it up like that, she said, look, I was the one who bought stuff to the group. I was the one who done this. I was the one who done that. She obviously wants to be the main and stuff like that. And she still ended up not being the main, even to coming down to this end part with Solar and Velvet. And Solar, even him himself, watched the women get beaten up many times, did nothing. Did nothing. It's crazy. Just crazy. And Aaron, I can't remember. What's the one where Every was with, I forgot his one, the one with the C, I forgot his name. She was pregnant for him as well. Right, you know, they had a specialty. They, right, you know, got right, that was sorted, however long that took, so that she can get back to Nature Boy. Man, even just talking about it now, I'm going through it in my mind. It's just, excuse me. It's just so. I'm sure a lot of people will be triggered by what has been heard, because I know half of the videos that T had up is gone, and I know she's slowly trickling them out. Sorry, I have to take my hold up a minute. Excuse me. But yeah, there's a whole heap of stuff going on, right? And I know you kind of throw me off. You throw me off a little bit. You throw me off because I've lost my trail of thought. Because this thing, this carbonation thing, It's serious, and this is why I like Marwan, right? He really he when he mentioned, oh, why did you go back 3 to 4 times and certain stuff, and I was like, yeah, exactly. I did, but yeah, yeah. What was the point? Is I actually went back several times. I think the very last time maybe was to get him. I think definitely was to get him, even though maybe the discovery thing, whatever thingy, was show that she went and she made what's it? She went to the policeman or cop or whatever, and explained hi mind's eye and explained her situation. But they, you know, but there was no coercion, none at all. From what I got from that little bit there, what T put up, because I think T put it up to show that the girls that there was no coercion in anything, because she was already on her way to charge him anyway because of what he put up on the Twitter and what was done and all that. And yeah, she was already on her way to do it, really, more or less. She just needed to, the word, what was told, she didn't put it down as what it was. She called it lovemaking. She got it all mixed up. Or because they were told that it was called lovemaking, that's what she said. But even in marriages, it happens. The R word. Oh, my daughter's coming. Jeez. You see what I mean? I get in the flow. Everybody's coming now. Hold on a minute. Oh, hiya.
This is not for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll drop it, please, okay?
Yes, okay.
How's it there? Good, yeah?
Yes, all right. It's been a good day.
Yeah.
I had it hot, then it's snowing.
Yeah. Alright, see you now.
All right, see you. Bye. Sorry, peoples. That's the post has come in it. The post has come. So yeah, so I feel that what was I saying? Even in marriages, these things happen. The R word will come up a lot. Yes, some women will do false charges, yes. But I don't feel that in the same way. I think yes, she did get manipulated into going back and stuff like that. That happens because I think I think it's possible. It is possible, right? So yeah, but on the T, if you've not been on the community tab and you've not seen that I posted, I think I posted that T thing, that video, what she put up, because there is a lot of things inside of there, even stuff that when I remembered a few things while watching it, while watching the video. I think I was also listening to it as well. So it was just so mad. And not I'm getting emotional over this. I'm just saying that it's just the spirit. Then she kept mentioning that she is the daughter of Oshun and all this stuff. And I was like, damn, okay, why? Like, she really wanted to be part of a community. But my question to her also is that why did you go back to Carbonation? There's many communities that deals with the spiritual system particularly. And I knew you went to Haiti. So I don't know. Like it's like she took a lot of free trips and she gets pulled into a lot of stuff. So some people just wants to be linked into certain spiritual stuff and they're not linked to the actual community that's dealing with that stuff. And she also said that she fashioned them, she left her shoes there, and she was hung up, she was really hung up about being the servant to Malia. She was really hung up on that. From what I got from that, she really was hung up on that. She was not prepared to do that. She was not prepared to do that at all. And even when he belittled her that time coming to the end where you see them at the where he's gonna make her queen, and he sort of calls her out and says, "Oh yeah, because she went with Sola, she's a peasant and a servant." And then I think even the incest thing was in the video in the earlier parts where he said he was going to get the daughter and son to come together as well. Mind you, he had already said that his daughter is his wife already. When the daughter come from Velvet, that's his wife. He already said that. So, you know, a lot of things I said, damn, I did already forget about that. I was like, oh my days, like Sheba, I really hope that Sheba, I can't remember her name, Kendra and Aaron has truly made a U-turn, because if they haven't, man, I don't know. I know Juju and them lot is totally lost. In Mind Cloud, they're lost. Totally. Father figure did actually come up. I think Kite mentioned the father figure word. You know, they're all searching for that father figure. Nature Boy seemed it at the time. But the beatings of Malia took some beatings, man. She took some beatings. And it's not even like it's like every time they mentioned it, I said, yes, that's domestic violence. I said it straight away. I said, that's DV right away. I said it. I sat down in my kitchen and I was listening to it and I said, yeah, that's DV. Velvet, DV, where he beat her to her clothes fell off her body. He beat her. It's like he blacked out. He blacked out a lot. No excuse, however, no excuse. He blacked out with Maisha too. No excuse. Maisha should have, however, stuck him in the pen where he should be, because he really should have been behind bars from a long time. And you know, I think Janae sealed the deal and sealed the fate, the destiny, and it is just like it have you thinking. Now, if you are like me, you're always constantly analyzing, thinking totally in my head sometimes, which is a bad thing, you know. It's a bad thing sometimes. I was like, damn. I said to myself, geez, they went through a lot of shit. No, and they are very messed up people. They are very messed up. They have mental health. And I even forgot where I was going with this now. You see what I'm saying? I forgot. I totally forgot. You know, normally I make my point and I go. This is why I just make my point and I go. Seriously, right there. No matter how short straight it is, I just do it like that, because there was a whole lot in that video. There's a whole lot. I really hope that the team put out the videos that she did of them in certain situations. I mean, there's a lot of triggering points because a lot of women went through the DV as well, and they know that type of man. They know that man. That's the thing. They know that man. They know that there's a man like that who will tell you to kneel down, go flat on your stomach, and then kick you without a fault. Now, I call them the Manson girls, I'm afraid, because that's what they remind me of, because the Manson girls was there for Manson right until the end, even though one of them supposedly turned Christian. I don't know. But anyway, if that is true, but they remind me of the Manson girls. They are that. Malia, however, I think she cut herself. And this was spoken about many times by a few people. So it could be speculation, but it was said as well. She ran out naked one time. She ran out, was it naked? I mean, you can correct me in the comment section for those who follow. Hi, Sotoma. You can correct me, because I'll tell you, what made me also go to another sector as well was release of the brain. Like sometime we had to listen to some other stuff, and look, I tell you, he is so very wicked man. He's a very wicked man. He used his trauma, childhood trauma, as a heal. He did, and he used it on the people. He already was angry for whatever he went through as a young boy, being abused, etc., etc. And he did that to these younger people. I mean, maybe the first lot, Melanation, whatever, Etherians kind of got away lightly, but these ones, that's a whole nother something else. Now, Ignotsu. Back to Ignotsu, because I think I remember hearing that she was it Ignotsu Yaya or Pocahontas. She must ask for a waffle, and he went ballistic. He went ballistic. He went crazy. Pregnant as well. So I'm thinking, man, and there's still supporters for him. He did a whole heap of stuff, and people still support him too now. The ones who support, and I don't even know. Yesterday, when like I said, when I was listening, I just was like, damn. Every time they kept mentioning certain stuff, I said, oh yeah, there's like, well, that's that charge there, there's that charge, there's that charge. Man, that man, that's all I can say. And I know there's others out there like him. That is what's so bloody funny about it. There's other men like him out there in this world. There's other men like this. Like this where I feel that this had to be shown and it had to be heard, whether it's assumption, speculation, whatever, call it as you will, because like I said, most of the reactors was on the button. The not reactors because they weren't reacting. The commentators was on the button. He's a monster. He's a whole monster in one. However, I know he's not faring well in jail. He's not faring well, but it's his karma. And the way how he treated them women, I hope they are treated. I'm not putting mouth on him. I'm just saying. I hope them men take much pleasure in doing that, what he did to these girls, because these girls are very messed up in the head. They're very gone. He broke them down. He broke them down. He broke Malia down. Malia caught all sorts of diseases, STDs, extras. I remember when people was looking on the what's it? She was in the hospital. She must have laid down her phone or something, and they was reading the board. And the family came out and spoke and said that whatever she had got was, I think the CDC or somebody had to get involved or her or was told about it, and he had to come and go and get her because they would have found out what they were carrying. So they're all carrying something. All of them are carrying something. Okay. Where like green stuff is coming from the parts, and as soon as they sleep with him, nothing was right after that. True. Oh, Aaron disagreed. He disagreed with like I said, a few things, and even as he was talking on the screen, you can hear that he kind of did wake up a little bit because he started referring to him as the cult leader. Even though I do believe that they are still, in my book, they should all cowards because they. Well, then again, sorry, I'll throw this one in too. As much as I think they're cowards, I feel that they couldn't leave, because when they said they was going to leave, there was a whole big drama of them leaving. They couldn't just come out the door, walk out the door, leave, pack their stuff and go. There was a whole big drama. Joy Tory was one of them who went through it. She wouldn't hand the baby over to nobody. She didn't trust her with nobody. In fact, she held on to that baby until she left wherever part of South America they was, because they all came out to try and get that baby from her, Musa included, and she stood up to all of them. And Malia did leave a few times. She left a few times. The last time when she broke that glass, why she to return back, I don't know what made her turn back. She should have just, I always said she should have stayed away, because he was just out to hurt her. He was saying that because she came from New Orleans, he was putting her in the same site as Velvet. And I feel one day she would have been on alive sooner or later, because she had went through a lot. He was going to doctors. They weren't allowed to go to doctors. They weren't allowed to go take care of themselves. He beat up Velvet so bad she didn't end up going to the doctor. And I feel the reason why they didn't get a chance to go to the hospital, because it would have been recorded. Because, you know, when you go to doctor, everything gets recorded. They do it with children. When a child goes too many times, it gets recorded. When a woman goes too many times, it gets recorded. And that's what I feel. But I also believe that how people was watching him from a long time too. You know, maybe at one point. So yeah, that girl went through a lot. Yes, Malia went through a lot. Velvet, on the other hand, is like she looks like, I don't know. But Velvet and her abuses, situations, them forming a circle, and he beating her to a pulp till her dress came off of her body. Then Sybil said they took her back. Was it Sybil and Star? They took her back to the house, and I think Sybil tended to her and looked after her. And, you know, him being a typical DV, you know, right? Because you know how it goes with men in DV. You know, then he starts love bombing her and going through all that. He was love bombing her. He did the same with Janae. They love bombed her because they got really good at it. They got really good at it, and it's just like, man, once you join a cult, you can never really never leave. Yeah, and I still believe some of their minds is still with carbonation. I do believe that. Even the rejects, they're still with carbonation. I mean, most of the women who talks about carbonation, certain stuff, because they got rejected, because he was a whole colorist too. Remember, he had a thing with color, you know, light and dark and stuff like that. They kind of got away lightly, I feel, though he took their money from them. So, you know, Ra is okay. Ra seems to be doing music and stuff, from what I gather. Yeah, Ra is doing okay. But, you know, when I listen to that to the T, that video, which I might just have to repost it on my community tab, because if you can sit through it, I think it's an hour or 3 hours long, maybe, or longer. I don't know. But it just turns your stomach. It turns your stomach to the levels to which it is. And yeah, I'm just like, damn, at this rate, man, he needs to go under the prison. I laugh. He needs to go under the prison. He needs to be under the prison. Because those same four would possibly do the most for him. He will probably, even from prison, he can give the order right now. They can probably go on a live themselves at present. He can give the order from there. Because he has them thinking in fantasy, because of how he talks and he's very charismatic. He can tell a good yarn. You know, and maybe for all we know, the prison word has gotten to the prison of his things he was doing, for all we know. why they stabbed him in the hand or nearly stabbed him a couple times. And you know, when you write your destiny, it will be so. So he is a very evil, dark. He's a very dark spirit, dark energy. Because even when I was listening to that, I felt that I was so mad. I had to leave. I had to go and get fresh air. I couldn't just go to my backyard. I had to just literally leave out the house, take a walk round the corner to the shop, maybe somewhere, walk through the park, walk somewhere, and just relax my mind, because the stuff he did, and even though most of it was shown on camera, a lot of other stuff that was going on wasn't shown on camera, and they talk about it. And I don't know. However we feel about each individual, can't stand Solar personally, can't stand Velvet personally. However we feel about the individual, nor Janae, however we feel about the individual, right? They went through a lot of hell. And I will say, in my conclusion, he really was out to hurt somebody, and he got his victims on a plate, basically. He got his victims on a plate. And even though some women he couldn't finesse, or women he finessed and got to carve a nation, who he turned into wives, belittled them on screen. I mean, he didn't want to show that he hit them, though he nearly did on screen. He got the women to do. He got the women to hit. I mean, they were already doing Fight Club behind the scenes. The women will be doing Fight Club. The men will be doing Fight Club behind the scenes. It's just like, man. So I know people. I know sometimes it's good to laugh and kiki at certain stuff, but some things that was said on that video is very quite serious. It's serious, because I wouldn't want my daughter nor my son to be in that situation where they are used, put on porn sites, Twitter. Because bear in mind, the Nature Boy is part of the sex industry. He's very much part of it. He's part of that, and he never did leave the sex industry. This happens in the conscious community. People make out they are whatever, and then later on, close up microscope shows that they are still the same. They might as well not be saying Hotep or greetings or whatever, Grand Rising. They might as well just be talking like the normal people's out on road, because he used it so well. He marketed it so well that Malia, like I put a picture of Malia, not really of before, but how she looked before and how she looked after. She was looking busted up. She still looks kind of small now when you look at her, but it could be the B12 diets that they're still eating. They are still wearing so-called Muslim attire, and yeah. But mind you, these are my thoughts and my opinions and my assumptions. And I will say, when I assume a lot, I assume a lot, and I judge very harshly and very quickly, and I spare none when I judge. So I say to this people, when just say you love your children. I didn't used to say it before, but man, you have to say I love you to your children. Give your children a hug, even if they resist. Because there's people like him out there. There's men like him. When you have daughters, no sons are a certain way as well, so we ain't gonna rule that out. There are men out there, and women maybe, because women can be narcissistic and just as grudgeful and hurtful, dreadful as well. judgment will be seated on this guy right now, and he needs to spend life in there. Basically, he needs to be there for 100 and something years, like Dr. York, right at this present moment. He needs not to come out on the streets. He is very much a danger to the community. He's a danger to the children. He's a danger to everybody. There you go. Said it now. Right. And if Janae do not turn her life around after she's had that baby and she still thinks whatever, I mean, you got away quite lightly, if anything, I reckon, and I'm not talking about the R word part, I'm talking about the parts where like you met this group, he was able to escape. Some communities you can't even escape. They take you to far and isolated places. Whole lot of things goes on. There is cults still out there, mind you, still recruiting, doing the most R word in domestic violence, you name it. And Nature Boy is getting his karma now. His karma is very much happening now. And check out Marwan and hear what he says, because he actually breaks it down in the legal way and certain ways too, because I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm looking at it. I don't know how I'm looking at it right now. I'm just like, I just thought I'd just say my piece, leave it in the metaverse, because I cannot have these conversations with people out here. They will never believe me. If I told them about Nature Boy, they will never believe me. Those some do know of him. They never believe me because some conscious ones on Facebook puts him up. They put up his image. They put up Rashad Jamal, who is a pedo, by the way. And I always say to them, do you know who you're putting up? Do you know who you're bigging up? Do you know who you're promoting? And then I'll go and I'll send them the information and they kind of drop it or they leave it right there because, yes, I don't know what else to say after that. I think I've said it all. I've emptied my cup. With how YouTube's going, I wanted to put up Nature Boy stuff, but it's just too much stuff. He says such hurtful stuff. It's very hurtful things and triggering things, and men feel it across the airwaves. And I am saying I'm not putting up something that's going to trigger my people, the audience, because some things you're not meant to put up, I feel. That's why I won't put up certain, well, I don't know, that's a whole nother conversation there anyway. But yes. So let me see what you're saying, because I'm just gonna go off on one again. Let me take a breath. Take a breath, yes. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, London Man. Hi, Joe Moms. Joe Moms? Joe Moms. Mind's Eye. So I think I'll go everybody. And yeah, the speculation, yeah, we covered that, didn't we? Yeah, that girl, when Malia went through a lot, I thought she would stay away after she had been in the hospital. No, she still went back. Once she joined the cult, you can never leave. Yes. She won't. She went back. Well, she won't. She went back, yeah. They always return. Yeah, I told you about Raw, and I can't remember what the right was. But yes. So I'm emptying my cup and I'm leaving it right here. And please put in the comments anything that I've forgotten, please drop in the comments. Put it this way, yeah? We have great conversations in the comments anyway. Because I feel that doing a panel on Nature Boy, I've done panels on Nature Boy before, and me and others think the same. Sometimes, right, unless something really major comes up with him or something, that's when I feel I talk about it really. I don't really talk. I mean, the hearing is something else, but I'll just repost people who's looking at hearings and looking at the hearing and going to the trial at right now, because this is the crucial time now, because I can't remember when he's due to have the next pre-trial. There is people going there. I did ask one lady if I can use her videos, which I think I was using her videos before anyway. And I'm going to, hopefully I'll be able to exchange the information. One of the content creators is going to be down in Atlanta or Georgia where the trial is happening. And to me, the one where, I mean, we can watch. I mean, it's not a lot. Like, I can't do a lot from the UK anyway. I can just watch. And they are really, really giving the tea some fire, and the tea is fighting back. Okay, she's fighting back, and she actually bought some heavy receipts against the girls. The girls needs to hang it up. They need to stop. They have a whole gag order out on them, and they are not stopping. But anyways, when I mean, but as Fundi Fee will say, yes, let them continue. I think maybe I should switch it. I should say, let them continue, because you just hang yourself at the end of the day. And it's like, I assure you, they are watching the members. I assure you. And being that you are still carrying on his propaganda, you're still showing that how he has a deep influence on the community. Juju is very paranoid. He's very, I don't know, on edge. On edge is what I call that one, on edge. Pisces seems to be a typical 20-year-old, young 20-year-old, doing what he's doing right now. But the others who take on and saying that they're doing what they're doing now, they're the ones who messed up the whole spiritual community, because they have the spiritual community all back to front, left to right, upside down, which they said this is going to happen at one point. Remember, I put up the Lucifer thing. He said that certain people's is carrying out the agenda. So, which I do need to put back out the rest of the Lucifer thing, because he does actually say that the agenda's been carried out, and this man called Nature Boy, he's one of them who's doing it, because they always set people into the community to cause a lot of isn't right the empowerment. They want to mash up the empowerment and certain stuff, and so they will plant people, and I believe Nature Boy is one of them. Yes, like probably was. I'm not going to discount it for a minute, because they took very long to get him. It took long to get that guy. When you think that they had him one way, he'll somehow come out. I said, how the hell is he coming out? I used to say that a lot. He'll go somewhere, get caught or do something, and then he'll walk out. And I said, how is it even possible? But mind you, Velvet did get him a few times. She got him a few times, and he was scared to go to the police station a lot of times. And I believe they would have pulled up all of his old stuff, and they would have got him right there and then. So, so it just shows you that how easily people can be manipulated into certain stuff. Oh yes, and also Janae did say that she did get manipulated back into what happened to her as well. Now, I wouldn't want no woman to go through what she went through, wherever. No woman should be violated at all, not at all, not at all, not by no at all, no matter the situation. I wish she did go to somewhere else. I wish she did. I wish she stayed away from them. I wish she went to wherever, because she's seeking. It's like she's seeking. She's artistic. She has a gift, but it's validation she requires. And she thought that by going back to Nature Boy, whatever, being the queen, maybe that might do so. But no, it didn't. So yeah, sorry. I know I sort of went somewhere else. But anyways, like I said, please put in the comment section whatever what your opinions or what I said. I know there's a big gap where I was talking to the postman. I'll cut it out in it. But yeah. Now it's 1 hour. I'm not gonna stay on here 2 hours. Drawing it out. So with that said, I'm definitely gonna leave. I think like I said, I emptied my cup. I've emptied my cup. I've released it into the metaverse. So, you know, have a good day. Take a look at the tea, mind you, and after you watched it, you can come back over. You can tell me what you think of that video. What your thoughts? Because we all have thoughts. We all have opinions. Just don't be disrespectful. That's all I ask. And yeah. So with that said, thank you for coming through. Those names that I mentioned, and have a great day. If you're in England, enjoy the sun. Enjoy the sun while it's here. Enjoy the sun. It was nearly funded yesterday. So take care basically, and I'll see you next live. Okay, take care. Bye.